and not receive excessive amount of text. Don't get me wrong.
Prev said we gotta get on Twitter, Lonice, which I agree.
Take it to Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
I'm just saying, it's good conversation. We're wasting it on text.
That's true. But, well, I don't have a Twitter account. I use the Double S Twitter account when I tweet.
well, you should get one. To be honest with you, I mean, to a certain point, because if actually no, that's not true. Because I could tweet from just mine to the Double S, so I can let you just stay.
That's what I've been doing.
I can let you use the Double S, Lonice, and I'll tweet. You got to represent and everything, because I can sign in both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can sign in. I can switch back and forth. Just keep switching back.
Phone, tablet, or computer, you can go back and forth pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, if y'all tweet me, I will tweet back in the Double S name, because what I do not have is a Twitter account.
It's not that bad. I'd rather have a Twitter than an Instagram. Seems like people getting in trouble on Instagram a lot more these days.
Yeah, I saw one joke.
Not fooling with Instagram.
I saw one meme that was saying that Twitter is for idiots and Instagram is for Twitter users who can't read.
Oh my God, dude, that's
Wow.
I didn't make that up.
That's bad.
Anyway, so who's your so I guess when it comes to this whole college playoff thing, is it really a situation now that's like every week it's like basically you're either going to play yourself, you don't know if you're going to play yourself in, but you definitely can play yourself out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be real interesting because they keep talking about go ahead.
Yeah, most anybody who's known me since like college knows that for a long time in college I was a big proponent of a playoff format, and then about the time I was graduating I was like, you know what, in Division I on that level that's probably a really, really bad idea. And then we went to the BCS format, and it wasn't really great. But what people, but here's the thing: a lot of people get a misconception about the BCS thing. Well, the purpose is to make sure that the best team plays the best team and is settled on the field. And I'm like, no. What y'all asked for was to make sure that number one played number two every year, and that's what they gave you.
Basically.
And then you didn't like what you asked for, so then you started whining about this. But now you have a playoff format that is apparently run by ESPN, and
Okay.
yeah. So don't be surprised if I'm sorry. You asked for it, you got it. Do not whine.
Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
And they got it all right.
It's not, but to me, this whole thing it's not that bad. I mean, it's exactly what I expected. Well, exactly what I expected, though. I expected to be 12 new faces, or how many faces it is, but they're different perspectives. They're supposed to represent a certain perspective of population that would vote, and some people are looking at different things. Everybody's not going to look at the same thing. Honestly, you know what it is? It's the same concept as picking the 65 or 66 teams that go into the NCAA tournament. There's always going to be the last four in and the last four out, based on, there's only one thing in that that's different is that you get conference champions are automatic. Other than that, the picks that they make outside of that are all relatively the same as this. Is subject to what you think is important and what you think, it is what it is. So
I mean, even right now, it's a field of four, and you got one team moves in and moves out on a week-to-week basis, which really doesn't mean anything till December. But everybody's like, oh, I can't believe Alabama's in, or no, I can't believe Alabama's out. Or I'm like, how many more weeks do we have to play?
But that's a sensationalism of driving the hype.
Right. Like I said,
the hype every week to week. You're going to have at least 5 teams that's going to warrant that last spot. This is simple as that. And that's exactly what's going to probably happen.
Well, Jameis is public enemy number 1, so they could see their way fit to not have Florida State in there.
Nah, they won't do that. They won't do that. Because it is Florida State. If that was Duke running the table at undefeated,
Marshall.
They would try to find a way to keep Duke out of there. To be like, you know what? Well, they would find a way, but that's Florida State.
Well, Marshall's going to put it on the table, and I don't see them getting in.
Well, no. My point is the name Florida State is the only reason, and the fact that they started out number 1 is the only reason. Remember we talked about the whole preseason ranking thing? It's the same concept of this whole tournament. It's this whole 4-team thing. What's the point of ranking teams at the beginning of the season? Because you're basically giving. If you went into the season saying that Florida State was number 1, that means you thought they were the best team on paper. Mm-hmm. And then if you didn't rank teams until the 5th or 6th week, forget the 14 playoff. Let's just talk about the ranking. If you didn't rank teams until the 4th or 5th week, would you have put notice Florida State at number 1 or number 2?
As long as they're somewhere, I think I might have had them maybe in the top 3. Here's the thing.
Not in the first 4 weeks.
No, not in the first 4 weeks. Okay, well, I'll do you one better.
Just because they've not, as people tell me, they've played terrible because the defense is bad. But then you lost like 7 dudes to the pros, so the defense isn't going to be as good. It's not like we haven't seen teams that have come off a national championship and lost a lot of their starters struggle. But in the past, they've always just by default for being defending champions gotten the number 1 spot. Clearly, this is an agenda set forth by the media. I am a conspiracy theorist going on right now.
Oh my goodness.
And oh yeah, because it's a complete attack. Because if it wasn't Jameis Winston as the quarterback, Florida State would be number 1. Because if it was Alabama with the same record and the same set of circumstances, but they were undefeated, coming off the championship, but they hadn't blown anybody out from the previous years, they would be number 1. It's because everybody thinks Jameis is a jackass.
I don't disagree with you. I don't.
So therefore, that's an issue because it's BS. It's BS. Because in order to beat the man, you got to beat the man. Ain't nobody beat the man yet. Even if the man is pulling out wins with just 2 seconds left on the clock, the man's still winning.
All I'm saying is, if Florida State, if you have 5 undefeated teams in week 4 or 5, or 5 undefeated top level teams in week 4, there could have been a scenario you would have saw Florida State get ranked at number 5 or 6. That's all I'm saying, because of the nature of how biased they can be to the SEC, the whole concept conspiracy theory with Jameis Winston, and the fact that, so what I'm saying is, if Florida State started in the 5th or 6th week ranked 5 or ranked 6, even with no losses, I would have loved to see them say, but even with no losses and they're the defending champ, why are we ranking them at 5 or 6, and then you get a team that's 1? If you don't put them up at number 1 and number 2, now you got a situation now where you got a 4 or 5 team that you're trying to make a case to be in this playoffs. It's all convoluted. It's all subjectivity. It is what it is. It's like whatever. You just pick the teams at the end, like Prev say. Call me when it happens, and then I'll watch the game.
To your point, first of all, to call that a conspiracy would basically be an insult to all previous conspiracies that have ever been hatched, imagined, or realized before. Okay, if you don't like Jameis, you don't like Jameis. Most of the people that don't like Jameis don't have any sort of power to rank Florida State.
He's an idiot, but he can play.
Yeah, whatever. So basically,
thanks, Pete.
I don't do people under.
He can ball.
Yeah. He can ball. He's an idiot. He can ball. To do people a favor, one better.
Make it one time a dozen. They still say that.
If you didn't rank this year, okay, Florida State won a national championship last year. Forget rank. Didn't have a rank at all this year. No rank. You just had teams and you had records. And you're going down to not week 4, because week 4, forget Florida State. You don't know what you got in Alabama in week 4. You don't know what you got in Georgia in week 4.
Agreed. I agree.
You don't know what you got in most of those teams in week 4. So forget all that. You don't have a rank at all.
No rank.
And then you get down to the end, December, second week of December, or right after the conference championships, and you got to have a grab bag of your 4 teams. And Florida State's undefeated. The only time you got to really start concerning yourself with a 1 is if there's a seeding involved, which obviously you're going to have a 1 seed. So, is it unfair to have them at Florida State undefeated at 1 or 2? I mean, at that point, does it really matter?
I didn't say it was unfair. I'm going on principle here and past previous things I said before. And yes, I'm completely biased.
Principality, Smokey.
Call me in the second week of December.
Yeah.
I'll argue about the college playoff then. Or maybe I won't. Because when Notre Dame is number 4 and people are like, huh? And I'm like, this is what you asked for.
Pretty much. Did Adrian see Adrian Peterson got what he asked for?
He got reinstated?
Pretty much. Well, is he officially reinstated? Is he officially reinstated?
That's
a big step there. Did he get reinstated?
I don't know.
I saw the article where his teammates were like, yeah, we'd love to have him back. I didn't hear the NFL say, welcome home, son. That's not what we
but technically speaking, he's on an exempt list, which is a made-up farce for the NFL to play the gray area. So, did he ever really get kicked out? I mean, he's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid. He didn't get kicked out because they didn't want to punish him
exactly
until you had determined whether or not you were guilty or whatever. Since he pleaded no contest or guilty to a lesser crime or thus and such or whatever, technically speaking, now he could be suspended without pay.
Yep.
Even though he's already missed 9 games. He could technically be suspended without pay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and that was that was arguably
the point. Is he's uninstated right now.
Right now, he's not running for anybody.
That was arguably the best speech I've ever heard him say. He didn't stumble over one word or nothing.
Oh, he gave a speech when
he didn't stumble. He just kind of climbed over the word.
I probably missed the speech because I was too busy. I was reading that story that your brother posted about the comedian and what's her name? No, not Corn Bullies. The comedian and old girl from First Take.
I had heard this guy's name.
Talking about what, Carrie Champion?
Yeah, Carrie Champion.
And the comedian, what happened?
You didn't read the article?
I don't even know if
I was actually working.
Oh, you should have read the article. It is quite despicable and disgusting. What is his name? Something Lang or something.
Artie Lang.
Thanks, Artie Lang. He was apparently watching First Take and went on a Twitter rant that started with I'm trying to carry champion, but they keep cutting back to Stephen A. Smith.
He was twittering himself, self-gratifying over.
And what's her name?
Carrie Champion.
What's his name? Skip Bayless. And then it spiraled out of control from there.
He was supposed to be on some show and they told him he wouldn't be appearing. He's having a hissy fit, saying the PR police and such, making the country all. Anyway, I've only heard of this guy. I've never heard him, never seen him. Never really cared one way or the other. He was kind of like in the outlets that I've been made aware of. His name was basically kind of like the same thing as Lena Dunham. Like, I don't know, why should I care about that? I don't want to watch that. Next. So.
She hadn't, which to her credit, at the time that I was reading the article, she had not dignified any of that with a response. So she had not replied back to him, said anything. I hope she doesn't. Just don't acknowledge it.
There's no need. Let's move on. Tony Romo.
Don't call it stupid.
Tony Romo, how's his back?
I talked with him earlier today. He said,
Did you talk to him or did you talk to Jerry?
No. I talked to Tony.
Then let Tony take off.
Permission to talk to Tony?
Yeah, he told me he was gonna be all right. He said he's gonna play. He said Jacksonville makes his back feel a lot better than Arizona did. He told me that. He said Arizona made him ache a little bit more. But Jacksonville is making him feel real good. It's like taking. He's like taking muscle relaxers. He's like Jacksonville muscle relaxers. I'm good. So,
he's not going into some sort of self-gratification Twitter rant talking about Jacksonville makes him feel.
I feel a certain way. Nah, he's not doing that.
A lot of quarterbacks probably feel that way when they play Jacksonville, but
they probably do, and they probably sometimes make.
They sit up there looking at the film and it's dark. Anyway.
Yeah. Really, Prev? Really? Really?
They probably do.
Oh my God.
Ooh,
right.
But I expect big things out of DeMarco Murray this week. I'm sure he went into the office and said, "The hell with that holding me back thing," because I know I was watching that game and three times on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and 3rd and 2, they lined up in shotgun. I'm like, guys, it's Brandon Wheaton. It's 3rd and 1, run the ball. It's 3rd and 2. Run the ball. It's 3rd and 2 again. Why are you lining up in shotgun?
It could be 3rd and 12. It's still Brandon Wheaton.
But I'm just saying, there's no obvious down. What's the point?
Rude,
What's the point? You got DeMarco Murray. I don't care. He's been doing. You run this freaking ball. Yeah, that's why they lost that game.
They were out of sorts, playing from behind. They didn't know what to do.
Playing from behind, one score.
Hey man, I'm just giving you what the scenario was and the situation at hand. That, and I really don't know what they were thinking, so that's all I got. I don't know.
They reverted to form. That's what they were thinking. They became last year's Cowboys.
That's exactly what they did.
They remember the Cowboys.
As I stated last week, winter is coming. It was a cold snap, and the Cowboys played like the Cowboys. We had this conversation last week, and y'all thought I was crazy. I'm just saying.
You are crazy, but you got more problems. I mean, even though Sanchez might be all right, the reason why I said might is a problem. There's a problem.
Butt fumble boy.
You think it's gonna be that bad? I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
He's not gonna play that bad, but can Sanchez win you a Super Bowl?
No.
But Nick Foles wasn't gonna win a Super Bowl this year.
Nick Foles had a better chance than Sanchez.
It was just a better chance, but he wasn't gonna win it.
We had a chance to get to the playoffs with Nick Foles. I ain't sure we can get to the playoffs with Sanchez.
You'll get to the playoffs because you're in the NFC East.
That's the problem, Prev. I don't know.
Right.
NFC East teams lose games they ain't supposed to lose. The Eagles are gonna lose. They're gonna lose to the Redskins. Y'all losing to them, and y'all.
And here's the thing, though. The rest of our schedule is easy.
Hold on, Lonice, you break it up. Whoa. Say it again.
The rest of our schedule isn't easy, though. We play Green Bay this week. Well, no, this week we play the Panthers. Then we play Green Bay. Then we play the Titans. That's the rest of our. That's all we have as far as easy games. The Panthers and the Titans. Then we play Seattle. They're gonna be mad. No, but we play Seattle in Seattle. And then the rest
gonna be mad. Yeah.
And then the rest of our season are all division games. We play the Cowboys. We play the Cowboys. Oh wait, no, it's the Cowboys. It's the Titans, the Cowboys, then Seattle, then the Cowboys again, then the Redskins, and then the Giants. That's how I finish up my season. It's the rest of my division. I could easily lose the rest of these games. No questions asked. And Nick Foles is out 6 to 8 weeks. That's the rest of the season.
Oh, no, he's done.
They're done. No.
There's
no 6 to 8 weeks. It's 6 to 8 months.
No, they're holding out hope because he doesn't have to have surgery.
Whatever.
And the hope is May.
I'm telling you what they telling the people right now.
Oh, of course they gonna always give you the best scenarios, Lonice, so they can keep you all hyped.
They give you $1 in the dream, and they selling you Mark Sanchez, and I was like, "Butt fumble boy," because here's the thing:
you don't have to buy that Sanchez.
Butt fumble boy was good when he had a solid run game and a hellacious defense. He's got a run game now. What he doesn't have is a hellacious defense. He's gonna have to score to keep up with somebody. I braced myself for the absolute worst scenario for the Eagles because, well, Chip Kelly is at the helm, and I'm just trying to get through the Chip Kelly era.
Worst scenario is probably wild card.
We'll see. I don't think it's gonna be that serious.
Yeah, there's only gonna be one team.
You're nowhere near close to the turmoil that's going on in San Francisco.
Yeah, you only get that exactly. There's only one team at the South.
Was breaking out, and but
if you hear the way you sound on the other end, Lonice, it does sound like you think pandemonium is.
Oh, don't worry, it's being recorded.
Yeah, you sound like you sound like 49er fans I've been talking to the last couple of days.
Well, 49er fans, what they like 3-4?
No, I think they're still 500, but it looks real bad. It's a bad 500.
I didn't think they were at 500. I thought they were under 500, which was why everybody was saying.
No, I think they're 500 now. I think they're 4-4 or something like that.
Didn't they lose?
The problem is they're 4-4 and they still thinking we're not sure we can beat the Cardinals.
That's exactly what they're problem. They're 3 games out of the division. They're 4-4, and I think Seattle's 5-3 now.
Okay. So they made 5.
One team out of the NFC South, 2 teams out of the North, 1 team out of the West.
What did you just say? 2 teams. Hold on. Back up. One out of the South. One out of the South.
Yeah.
2 teams out of the East.
And do we get 2 out of the North, or who's not going to make it from the North? Just short Detroit.
I'll say 1 out of the North and 2 out of the West. I don't think. No, you get 2. You'll get 2 out of the North. The Packers and the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions ain't gonna fold. They gonna figure out how to at least at this point go 10-6. They ain't gonna. Yeah, I think the Packers will still win that division.
I do.
New Orleans gonna win the South. New Orleans gonna win the South.
Yeah, I think it's going to be out the West.
I think the Eagles and the Cowboys will be out of the East, and I think Cardinals is going to be the team out of the West. And the only reason I say that is not because I don't think Seattle can win games. I just don't think they're going to win more games than the Packers or win more games than the Eagles.
They don't necessarily. Yeah, I don't think they can catch up.
I don't think. I mean, they're only only 1 game back, Prev. I mean, but the point I'm making is, I just don't see it. I just don't. I don't see that team winning consistently the rest of the year. I'll put it that way. I just don't see it. I mean, I may be wrong.
Is it because of the corn bullies?
It's because they got Doug Baldwin as their number 1 receiver. And we talked about that last week. I don't even want to give him any more shine.
No, let me say that even though I flashed a sign, I'm probably counting on Pete to edit that out because I've been threatened with a lawsuit over corn bullies. So I'm still trying to resolve that out of court.
You ain't been threatened with no daggone lawsuit.
I was threatened with a lawsuit. The guy was going to straight up apple me.
Yeah. I just love the post you put up there about Russell Wilson's mom. I've been trying to tell people that boy is.
That wasn't me. That was the guy that's threatening to sue me.
Hey, like I said, I was like, why are we talking about this man like he's Colin Kaepernick?
It wasn't.
I was like, this man need an honorary tag. I'm like, he don't need that, guys. He
somebody said that one of his parents was white.
No.
I'm like, does it even matter?
Yes, it does, Prev.
Doesn't matter.
Apparently in the locker room, they didn't know what his mom and dad looked like either. They tell this man he got to be honorary.
Well, because it's because
he qualify as honorary. They got
mixed. I was thinking is he not mixed? Is his dad Indian or something? He got Indian in his family because that's the other thing
somebody should talk about Indian in their family. That makes them more black than others.
Oh man, y'all are terrible, man.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know what? I want to take this moment. I actually had
I'm honest because the election didn't turn out that way. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, well.
I don't even want to talk about that lecture right now. Let's just keep this on.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I had a Pete.
What'd you say?
Dukes.
What'd you say, Lonice?
I said I'm sorry. I had a moment.
Oh, I understand.
Carry on sports talk. Here we go.
Yeah. We kind of touched on it very briefly in the fantasy episode, like a nanosecond. And I thought Pete was gonna take that moment and go off, but
go off on who?
Not off on anybody in particular, but just kind of in general, because I'm sure you're hearing the same overreaction that I'm hearing about the Patriots and the Broncos game. Peyton had a bad game.
Lonice posted
Peyton made.
I'm saying she posted it, said he had a bad game, 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a bad game.
Hey, I'm telling you.
If that's a bad game, I'm like, damn. I'm sure Jay Cutler and a few other quarterbacks will love that.
But didn't he throw like 2 interceptions too, or something like that?
He threw 1 interception, and the other one, Wells Welker should have caught the damn ball.
Okay,
so both of them, neither one of them were good. Okay, all I can say is
no,
that's not how to give
one of those was perfect, and to hit him in his hand in stride, Prev.
Yeah,
and he dropped
but here's the problem with
ball.
that. No, here's the problem. No, here's the problem with that. It wasn't a bad throw. The problem was that there was 2 other guys open on the play, and they were further downfield. That's the bad decision.
Yes, it hit his hand. Bad decision.
What I'm saying is,
ball, if he caught the ball,
I am painting the context. I am painting the context of Peyton Manning's so-called bad game. And I'm saying it maybe 2 bad decisions, maybe 2 bad decisions and a punt return.
He was off on his throws. There was a lot of stuff being said. When I posted it, it was sarcasm. I was posting.
Like, I know you were. I know you completed what? This is what I told you. I was like, the throw Tom Brady made to Gronk was a bad throw. Gronk just made a hell of a damn catch. It happens. It's football.
He made it look good.
So, like I said,
if you don't make the catch, that might be a pick in the end zone. Honestly, that's how bad the throw was.
So we're talking maybe 2 bad decisions and a punt return for a touchdown, and that's a bad game for Peyton Manning.
It was a horrible game, Prev. You saw it. He played terrible, completely out of characteristic.
Like I said before.
Oh, his throws, he was way overthrowing dudes. He was short-arming stuff. He was skipping it off the turf. He was nervous. Bill Belichick was in his head.
We sensationalize all the time about quarterbacks versus a quarterback, like we're watching a tennis match.
I heard this
like
one
we're
guy
watching
say on the radio.
tennis match. We're not watching a tennis match, people. This is not Rafael Nadal versus Federer. It's Brady versus Jack Del Rio and Peyton Manning versus Bill Belichick. In most cases, Bill Belichick's going to get the best of you. It's just part of the process. Jack Del Rio, would you take Jack Del Rio
best of anybody?
You take Jack Del Rio versus Brady on a regular basis? Maybe once, maybe twice, but in Foxborough? Nah.
Right.
You know,
again.
I heard one guy on the radio talking about, how Brandon Browner plays so well against those bigger receivers and the great job he did on Demaryius Thomas, who had 120 yards. What was it?
He still got me 16 fantasy points, so he had a big game. He still had it. He just didn't get in the end zone.
Yeah, he was completely erased. I was like,
it's
he was completely erased. Look, there's one game.
No, I mean, bottom line is, the Patriots put it on them. Let's just be real about it. The
Patriots just won the game. They played a better game.
They're about to say they whipped that ass. Let's just be honest. But it's one game. It's one game, and it counts only in the context of them being the 2 top teams in the AFC.
It counts in the context that the Broncos might have to go back there for the AFC Championship game.
It counts for home field advantage, which counts for something. That counts for something.
But here's the thing. Quiet is kept. Mm-hmm. That division is actually not weak. We just think it is because the quiet is kept. The Bills are 5-3. The Dolphins are 5-3. And of the 2 teams that's in the AFC, who are the two teams that usually play the Patriots the best? Usually, even though we always say that the division is weak and we expect the Patriots to win, which they have most of the time. But I'm looking up at my boys like I don't know what the hell has gotten into them. And the Bills are actually 5-3. I was like, damn, I forgot. They actually are winning games.
Well, y'all got all the honoraries out of the locker room, so now y'all can focus.
And you know what else we did? And Prev will love this. I can't think of the guy's name right off the top of my head, but when Pouncey was out, we put in our backup center, who's actually turned out to be one of the best centers in the league right now, and we moved Pouncey sorry ass to guard.
To guard, yep.
And that's been a big deal in the running game. A huge, huge deal. And
well, you know what? You lost in all the brouhaha, and I said it once on the show last year. Lost in all the brouhaha about Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito. There was very little discussion on the fact that neither one are really all that good.
Come on now. I told you they suck.
Well, I didn't need you to tell me they sucked. I already knew they sucked.
And then we went out and got McKinney and made it even worse. But anyway, I digress. Keep going.
Well, whoever you got now out there now is better. So
they are playing. And oh, by the way, we forgot Tannehill could actually run, so we put the read option in the offense now.
They ought to move him out there. You know, they can give him a couple snaps at receiver too.
Might as well. Might want.
Yeah. Get a taste of his old college days.
I'm just saying. I like when Lonice.
Receiver, who's gonna throw it?
He can throw it to himself.
He can throw it to himself. But when Lonice, when you posted that, I was like, the Chargers must got jet lag because I did not. I mean, come on. I actually would have won my fantasy game last week about to play the Dolphins defense. Are you really gonna play the Dolphins defense against the Chargers?
Never. You don't make that call.
Not when you got Cincinnati going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I kind of look back and I digress on that. I wish I would have just played the damn Dolphins defense. Cincinnati's I'm not a believer, dude. I wish they just go ahead and lose a couple games and just get out of it. Just be done. They are just terrible, man.
They can't just lose a couple games and just be done.
And the Browns, I'm like, how are you? The Browns played the 3 weakest teams in football and barely won. I'm like, which makes them the 4th weakest team in my mind.
But aren't they 5-3 or 4-4 or something?
They're 5-3, but it's a ugly. You know, we talked about that 4-4. Like some teams 4-4 looks good, and then some teams 4-4 looks bad. Their 5-3 is the worst 5-3 I've seen in a long time.
This conversation came up at work, and I don't know. Pete was watching, I'm sure. I don't know if Lonice was watching, and I only saw half of it. But what I saw was really bad. Did Mark Richt earn a firing this weekend?
Oh no. I'm not going that far. It's more severe things going on out there in college football that deserves firing than him.
Absolutely.
I don't think
so. Mark Richt deserves absolutely. But seriously, that was no. They shouldn't fire him. In my opinion, they should not fire him.
Right.
But this is a guy that they've been looking for an excuse to fire because he has quote unquote not met the expectations. I mean, like I said, it's
what expectations is that?
The expectations is, are you going to win the SEC at any point? That's the expectation. They ain't asked for the national championship yet. It was like, are you going to win? Last year, they got hurt. Everybody was on a trade. Everybody was on the stretcher. Yeah. Okay. You know, but it's basically, I'm sitting here listening to people saying, well, what has he done? And I'm like, well, he's won about 85% of his games. I mean, that's not really a whole lot to complain about.
It's not enough. I need more.
Yeah. So when I say did he earn his firing, I'm not saying are they right to fire him. I'm like, well, are they gonna do it? Yeah.
I don't think they if they do. You know what? If they do, then good luck finding somebody else.
Well, that's usually the case. I'm like, who else are you gonna hire?
Good luck. Good luck firing, and then you will, and then you really will lose all of those recruits from Georgia to go to Florida and South Carolina. They'll spread them out, and then you go ahead. Yeah, you go right ahead and fire that guy. The one thing he is like him and the dude in Clemson. They are getting talent. They do get talent to come through there. They are always around. They're always hovering around top 15 every year. Always. Go ahead, fire that man. You be looking like Tennessee. Fire him if you want to. Tennessee. You know I'm telling the truth, Prev. That's why you laughing.
Tennessee. That's a bad part because it's not like Tennessee fired somebody and then they earned their way into the depths of the despair that they're in. They keep talking about.
Well, they technically fired somebody. But they had to fire him because he was going to take them straight hell, and they didn't fire him. Or did he leave? Did Lance Kiffin just leave? He just left, right?
No. They were bad before Kiffin got there. I'm talking about Fulmer.
But Kiffin was going to take them to. But see, this is my point. Yeah, you ever seen the movie? What was the movie with the spaceship that went to hell and back with Lawrence Fishburne? I can't think of the name of it. Leviathan?
No, not Leviathan. I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of that. But that's what would have happened with Tennessee. That program would have went to hell, like truly went to hell. It was like it would have truly went to hell.
Well, on the other hand,
they might have torn his head in.
You put yourself in position to hire Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, whatever, man. It's terrible. Oh, man.
Lane Kiffin could wind up in Georgia.
He better not wind up in no damn Georgia. He trying to get that Alabama job when Nick Saban decided to go chill out with his wife.
Anywhere.
I don't know. They pissing Nick Saban off these days down there. They pissing Nick Saban off down there. Ungrateful asses. Want me to win by 40 points every week?
Yes.
God, dog.
Do it.
Let me tell you about what annoys me.
Just win?
Nope.
See if Nick Saban ain't talking to somebody about a job in the off season. He gonna do it.
Well, now he's always talking to somebody about a job.
He's gonna talk to somebody about a job.
Always.
NFL, CFL, UCLA, Florida,
the Miami Dolphins. I'm sorry.
The Jets. Yeah, he's gonna talk to somebody about a job.
Jackass.
As the saying goes, Nick Saban is always available.
Yeah, Drew Brees, you can't play no more. We're gonna take Dante Culpepper. What was his brilliant mind when he was in Miami? What was his brilliant mind then? He's such a brilliant player. Really?
How do you really feel, Pete? I can't tell.
I mean, that's my point. You know, like, I understand that Pete Carroll, like, we just tend to want to forget the past, like it never happened. And I understand we all have bad relationships and things. But when we get married, we want some of that stuff buried in the past. But you can't pretend it didn't happen. We know Pete Carroll happened with the Jets. We know that happened. We know Pete Carroll happened with the Patriots.
Well, wait a minute. Pete Carroll. What was Pete Carroll with the Jets? Remember, Pete Carroll was, I believe, 8-8 with the Jets.
He won an elite.
It wasn't that bad.
I ain't talking about him being bad. We talking about Pete Carroll who went into Seattle. He created this potential dynasty, and now we're putting him in almost quote to quote in the Bill Belichick, Don Shula category. Like he's.
Okay, I'm like current rhetoric aside, Pete, you've been hearing me say for years back when Carroll was at USC. Remember, the Jets fired Pete Carroll to get to Rich Kotite.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here.
Likewise.
Yeah, it's kind of late. I'm on Central Time, so I got an extra hour on you guys.
Oh, well, yeah, you go to bed.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Because you're going to be any minute now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right,
y'all.
Talk to you later.